Hey guys, welcome back. This is part 5. Finally, the conclusion for the high-grade Universal Century Psycho Gundam. Let's get started. Alright, now as this guy spins around, I'm going to start with the cons, or the negatives for this kit. Now, I only have a couple, but they are quite drastic and major in my opinion. Now, first off, the transformation was a decent one. It didn't take too much effort. It wasn't overly hard, but I still find it as just a major gimmick, and I don't know how many people actually keep him in this form because, well, he's kind of ugly. He is supposed to be this way, but it's kind of one of those things where I don't think anyone would actually like transforming him too much, and it seems like one of those things that if you do get it, you should try it at least once so you guys know how it's done, but that's about it. You don't ever want to do it again. Another thing I've noticed with this kit is the lack of, color details, you can say. Now, a lot of kits are kind of guilty of this, but for something this big, I felt a little bit cheated. Especially with the yellow parts on the sides of the torso here and the front. This part over here is also a nasty sticker. The parts up near the nose cone are also a sticker. Pretty much all the yellow parts that aren't giant blocks are, and that's kind of disappointing. Even the ones right here in the front. Now, they did a good job of matching it with the actual pieces, which are right here, and the ones on the back and on the thruster, but it's really disappointing in my opinion because we are paying quite a bit of money for a high-grade kit. I can't expect mass-grade quality out of it, but at least some of these parts would have been nice if they were in yellow. And same could be said with little accent parts, like on the sides. These parts over here, they're supposed to be actually a red color, and that didn't come through at all as well. That's a little bit disappointing, but for a high grade, it did do a decent job. Now another part you're going to notice is this seam line right here that goes down on the shoulder. This is something I didn't really like. It's one of those things that's kind of bothering me. It sticks out a lot, and man, I gave you a sticker to cover it up, but it's kind of still like, come on. I'm sure there's other ways you could have made it so it wouldn't actually show up. Also, there is some parts. Let me take this part off. Now, on the arm right here, there's also another seam line right here that goes straight across. Now this is also bothering me a lot because what happens if you want to keep him in that, mobile suit form, of course, and have the lasers shooting out this way? You're going to see this seam line going up right here, especially if you have a keen eye like me. So that kind of bothered me as well. And the last seam line, I had to pretty much rip off the leg for this to work properly, that I found is this one on the toe. It's very visible, especially because it's such a big part. There's a red piece right here. It kind of draws your eye right here. If you look up a little bit, it's like, oh hey, there's this massive seam line. Yeah, really not what I was expecting here. Nice master grade type construction right here would have been nice, like a full front part that's all black that just slaps on top like that. Instead of having these two pieces come together like this. That's kind of the only disappointing part on the foot, though. Now here he is, transformed back into mobile suit form, the form that I really like between the two, holding Chopper, of course. And, well, there's only a couple more faults I can actually give you guys. Usually at this point I go over all the pros to the kit, but there is one more that is quite glaring and obvious, and that's the shield connection and the weight issues with the kit. Now with something this big, weight issues are going to be a problem, and that's fine. Standing on its own 2 feet, not holding anything, he does an extremely good job of balancing himself, and that's good. But the moment you put on the shield goes on to either hand. It completely drags down that entire side of the body, which in turn affects one of the legs. Now the leg would actually go out a little bit more, and that actually takes away a lot from the playability and the posability of the kit, because that completely hinders everything. And with that being said, though, this kit does have a lot of good points, though, and let's start off with some of those. First off, on the good points, we have the sheer mass of this guy. how do you not fall in love with something that costs about the size of a master grade, but reflects the actual size of a perfect grade? Now, he's incredibly big and will look intimidating on anyone's shelf, and that's extremely good, especially for the price you're paying for him. Now, anyone who puts him on the shelf and on the collection is going to be impressed, because he does do a fairly good job. Even with the faults I mentioned before, he's a very good display piece. Now, he doesn't come with too many accessories, but that's because, being as canon as he is, they didn't actually give him with, much of anything. All you got is the shield, but that's not too bad. Good connections here, although there are the weight issues. And moving along, overall the transformation is good, and he does reflect what the anime was supposed to do. Give you an intimidating look on what would happen if a Gundam became extremely big. Now, the mobile armor part is kind of just a gimmick, but it's good that, they added that in. But this completely gives that reflection of what the anime wanted to go for. Intimidating, big, and massive. So if you have a 1/144th scale kit that you can put next to him, like a high grade or real grade Gundam Mark II, then you can actually recreate a couple cool scenes. Because he does do a pretty good job. The detailing is relatively nice on him. And yeah, you should go and check him out and only if you guys have the shelf room, and also if you have the money, because he is quite an expensive kit for high grade quality, and if you can get him for a little bit cheaper, then that's actually a good score. And of course, if you have fallen in love with him through the anime and you can't find one, then that's too bad. You should go out and find one, because he's incredibly cool and a really good addition to anyone's collection. Time for the final score of this guy. He didn't score too well on the judges panel, but he did end up getting a passable 6 out of 10 on the high grade Universal Century rating scale, for me at least. Now, that's mainly attributed to all the faults I said before, and also the main one, for me at least, was the use of screws. Now, honestly, I don't like screws at all, and any kit that actually needs it kind of will get a lower score, unless it's absolutely needed. Now, I felt that this kit could have been done without the use of screws, if only Bandai had a little bit of better engineering in the kit itself. So that's why this kit got that score. Guys, regardless of what I say, I'm just one voice on YouTube. So if you guys honestly do like the Psycho Gundam and are a fan of Zeta Gundam and the high grade Universal Century line, then this is a must pick up for you anyways. He's gonna tower over most kits you have on your shelf, unless you have something like the O, the Zazabi, or the Dendrobium, or the Meteor units, things like that make him kinda small. Then this guy is definitely for you. I believe that every collection should have one massive kit or two, and if you don't already have a perfect grade and you want something really big, then this is a really good pickup. So guys, that concludes my review, finally, of the high grade Universal Century Psycho Gundam. Now, thanks for joining me on this journey, guys. Now, we're going to have new content out on the channel very soon, maybe a new Gundam or two, but yes, this was really fun, and I actually enjoyed building him. My name is Dr. Tony Chopper, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace out.